Spider-Man's got some big changes on the way thanks to a new deal that Disney and Sony are working out. This is also Josh Wilding from Comic Book Movie. He's been killing it today. According to a rumor, some more changes have been made to the agreement between Disney and Marvel Studios and Disney/Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures, this time pertaining to how exactly villains are used across both franchises. Amazing Spider-Man wasn't the runaway hit Sony Pictures hoped for, but it was successful enough to spawn a sequel and then a slate of projects, which included third and fourth Spider-Man movies along with Sinister Six and possible Venom spinoff. Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't cheap to make, and after it was deemed a critical and commercial disappointment, Sony decided amid pressure from fans following leaked Sony-hacked emails to partner with Marvel Studios. Andrew Garfield was out and Tom Holland was in, and the MCU's new Peter Parker made his debut in Civil War, then had his own movie in Homecoming, as well as appearances in Infinity War and Endgame. However, during Spider-Man's Far From Home production, Disney and Sony reached an impasse on money. A new deal couldn't be reached, and not only did it mean Spidey would leave the MCU, but Feige's creative input was over. Given what a mess Morbius's multiversal elements were, we dread to think how Spider-Man No Way Home was set to play out on Avid Arad's watch. Fan backlash, including from the Russo brothers, helped turn the tide. In one conversation between Tom Holland and Disney CEO Bob Iger later, the deal was back on. However, post No Way Home, it's undergone another evolution. Recently, it was shared of new plans for Spidey's expanded MCU role, and now the Geeky Cast, the first to bring word that we are getting a Thunderbolts trailer today. So this story must have come out, 2 days ago now. Apparently, Sony will now start notifying Marvel Studios about which Spider-Man-related villains will be used in its non-MCU projects. Marvel will then be blocked from using that character until at least 30 days after the Sony movie is released on VOD. This means Kraven the Hunter could be brought into the MCU, presumably a variant rather than the one played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, for example, providing Marvel Studios meets those requirements. I hope so, because I don't want to do the why does Quicksilver look like Kraven situation. Okay, but then by that statement, then Robert Downey Jr. being Doom and Iron Man, but everybody... Anyway, they wanted Kraven originally in No Way Home, but that upcoming origin story ruined the MCU's plans. Sony also has some rules to abide by. Future Marvel movies produced by them will need to have budgets of at least $75 million and play in a minimum of 2,000 U.S. theaters. The deal has been restructured to this extent. It suggests the whole thing has been reconfigured in a way that's going to only benefit both the MCU and Sony Spider-Man universe. With any luck, it'll keep Spidey in the MCU for as long as possible, regardless of whatever Sony gets up to. Okay, I love to hear that news, because I think one of the things that could have potentially really hamstrung Spider-Man is not having the full plethora of villains at their disposal in the MCU, especially when you're talking about getting to Secret Wars and Battle War. Like, we need to be able to have access to pretty much everyone that we can, let alone there were been talks about Spider-Man and Daredevil teaming up, which seeing the two of them in New York taking on the Kingpin is a fucking dream, man. And if you can even expand it further with the Defenders, specifically Luke Cage and Iron Fist, though I would love for an Iron Fist recast, I honestly think that would be really great. I think that would be fantastic. So the only way you can do that is Sony needed to play ball with Disney. I'm glad that Disney isn't, being some sort of dictator about this, so that we can, let Feige cook, and really come up with some great stuff. So let me know what you think, man. Are you excited about this new contract, or do you think this might throw a wrench into a situation? I'm hoping what it ultimately does is it does allow them to let the MCU do their street-level Spider-Man movie, and if Sony wants to go do another Spider-Verse thing, you got it. Go for it. Go for it, champ. Let me know what you think in the comments.